Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Let's start with this vaccine rollout. The Prime Minister has now abandoned setting targets for the vaccine rollout. Why won't the government provide a timeline which it can be held to account?
Well, the objective of the government is to get as many Australians vaccinated as possible, as quickly as possible. But we've seen consistently with the vaccine rollout that there have been barriers outside of our control, some scientific, some to do with foreign governments, and now, of course, the issues around blood clotting, which have led the government to be in a situation where we've secured additional doses of vaccines, the Pfizer vaccine, but we're not going to rule out the potential that other disruptions can occur. You may recall we had a domestic research program looking at the University of Queensland, which identified scientific challenges progressing that vaccine. We had an issue with the vaccine associated, obviously the AstraZeneca one associated with blood clotting. Some of these, and of course the European Union, that has inhibited the capacity to export some vaccines to Australia. So there are challenges outside of our control, but because we are in a situation where there is no COVID-19 in the community, we're in the best position possible to be able to make sure that the Australian population isn't experiencing the consequences of COVID-19, and we'll continue the vaccine rollout accordingly.
Okay, but for the sake of transparency and confidence, Australians deserve to know when they might receive at least their first vaccine.
I'm sorry, I can't hear anything if you're trying to speak to me.
Okay, hopefully you might be able to hear me now, Tim Wilson. For the sake of transparency and confidence, surely Australians deserve to know when they will at least receive their first vaccine.
I'm sorry, the line cut out. You have to repeat the question.
Okay, I think we might be having a few audio issues there with Tim. Tim, you might be able to hear me now. Can you hear me? Just confirming.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, let's do that again. For the sake of transparency and confidence, though, Australians do deserve to know when they'll be vaccinated by.
What Australians should rightly wish and hope for is to remain COVID-19 free as we are. And of course, there are Australians, 1.1 million Australians, who have already secured their vaccine. Others who wish to take the AstraZeneca one over the age of 50 will be able to do so. Those under the age of 50 will be given an option to do so. So the vaccine rollout is continuing, but there are a number of people in the community, including in my community, who have said that they're happy now to wait because of the issues and concerns that have been raised by the AstraZeneca vaccine. And that's the basis in which people have to make decisions about access to vaccine. It's not just what the government provides, it's actually about respecting people's choices.
Tim, the target was to vaccinate Australians by October. Then it was first vaccine for all Australians by October. Now it's unknown. There's a lot of question marks. How is this not a dog's breakfast?
Well, the clear focus has been on the government making sure we have a vaccine to roll out to the Australian community. I outlined before that there was initial effort put into a domestic research capacity around the University of Queensland vaccine. Now, that didn't play out. Then, of course, we had the challenges around AstraZeneca's vaccine, both in terms of the European Union delaying the rollout to Australia, and then in addition to that, the obvious issues of blood clotting. So I think what the public want us to do is to take a measured, proportionate and cautious approach while making sure that those people who feel at risk can access the vaccine. And that's precisely what we're doing. And that's the base in which we are informed by the science and the medical research, while also making sure that we can get the vaccines to the populations who feel at risk.
Do we have time, though, to take a more cautious approach, particularly when it comes to state border closures and snap lockdowns? What sort of a message does this send to industry, particularly the tourism industry?
Well, the strongest message that can be sent to the Australian community is the fact that most of us are back to a ordinary day-to-day life with COVID's normal measures. The critical difference between us and so many other countries is that they are desperately trying to contain the number of people going into ICU. We are not in that situation. Now, when it comes to what people put in their bodies, I do believe in terms of medicine, we do have to be cautious in making sure that we're taking the community with us, we're maintaining and building public confidence, and people feel safe in taking the vaccines, which is why the measures that have been taken have been cautious, that respected people's choices, and of course recognise the challenges faced at risk populations.